Hello friends, welcome back. Today's discussion topic is in front of you, and actually it is very sensitive. Depression versus growth. The word which you might have heard number of times around you, from your seniors, from your juniors, from your colleagues. Number of people are there who are very much worried about this depression. So if I try to give you a very small rough idea that what is this depression is all about, then I would like to say it's nothing. Why? Because as we reach this stage when no one is all around us and we are having no one to share our sorrows with them, if any kind of blot is there in our mind regarding any emotion, regarding any problem, we are not able to share that with anyone. So that feeling actually converts into a term known as depression. If I take you long back when we were kids, then at that time also we used to feel some kind of emotional hurt, or we also used to feel sorrows. But at that time we were not aware of about we were not aware of this word depression, so we had nothing to do with it. But now since we are alone, we are preparing for some competition, we are doing for any, we are, even if you are doing some job, then job pressure is there, number of things are there, you are not able to sleep properly, so depression comes. So it's not a very difficult or very extraordinary term which you should feel of, which you should feel very much afraid of. It's a general term only. Nothing to worry about it. Why? Because it's so simple to understand what basically depression is. So what I have stated are some points, like how it starts, results of depressions, and how to defeat depression just in 2 steps. So I would be focusing this session regarding our examination which we have to appear for. So friends, if I start from the emergence of depression, then I would like to say that how it emerges is distraction from studies. If you are feeling distracted from studies, automatically after some interval of time you will feel like you are having some kind of unknown fearful factors, means which are making you feel afraid of the rapid passing of time. So it happens, it's obvious actually, if you are not studying properly, if you are not giving time to your setups for studies, definitely time will pass and it will make you feel afraid of the fact that you will lose in the final examination. Then second reason comes to the following is failing to solve the questions. When we fail to solve any question we are practicing at the time of practice session, we think of our future first. Like if we are not able to solve this particular question now, we will be not able to solve this in our future also. That is a myth. Actually, it's a myth. Why? Because, and it's not only a myth, but what we think is can happen if we are not properly practicing that question. So there are two perspectives of thinking this second point, that failing to solve the question can lead to depression. If you are practicing, the first point I would like to address is if you are practicing properly, if you are understanding the steps, even if you are solving that question wrong, you are working for the fact why that question is wrong, if you are working for the fact that the concept you applied is wrong, then mark my words that that question won't be wrong in your future examination, whichever examination you are appearing for. But the second point, which is again more important, is the same thing can happen in your main exam also if you are not worried about the mistakes you committed in solving that question, along with the concept, lack of concept which you had at the time of solving that question. So what you need to focus is just think why this question has gone wrong, what are the important points which you have missed while solving this question, and how to rectify that problem. Whether you need to consult your books, whether you need to consult your notes, whatever, means whichever possible way you can consult it, you consult, because ultimate aim is to clear the question in a correct manner. You should get a correct answer, then only you will get a positive mark. So there is nothing to do with the failing to solve the questions of books and or nothing to think a lot about depression, because if you will think that you are depressed, definitely you will go into that state. So don't think that depression is a very big, very severe issue. It's a very simple issue. It is dependent upon the state you are actually having. If you are alone, no one is there to share your sorrows with you, you will feel depressed. Anyone can feel depressed. Then friends, the third point which I have marked is low marks in test series. I hope now no one will be appearing for test series, but in future when you will be appearing, you will see that if you are getting very low marks, suppose out of 100, if you are able to secure only 30 or 40%, you will feel highly depressed. And what is it about? We actually at that time are not focusing on the reason why we have got these much marks. What we are focusing is how can we get these amount of marks when we are studying for the past 6 or 7 months. But that is not true. Why? Because you are simply studying, but suddenly when you go for test series and all, your extremas are measured, because when you are studying you are not able to check whether this question is tough or it's simple or whatever it is, and at that time pressure is also not there on your head while appearing for examination. So you have to basically learn from the test series how to challenge the pressure upcoming in the main examination, how you have to manage the time, the way you solve the question, the way you write formulas, the way you manage your solution at the time of main examination, that you have to test during the test series. Just don't think of the marks you are scoring, just don't think about anything at that time except for the mistakes committed. After giving any test series, whether it is full test or subjective test, you have to focus only on the mistakes you committed during the solution of during solving of that question paper, nothing else. Once you will come into this habit of ignoring your marks and considering only and only your test series mark for the mistakes you committed during your test series, suddenly you will understand why this kind of marks are there, why not 90 or 80 out of 100. So basically friends, focus on the strategy, focus on the thing which is making you lose those marks instead of the amount of marks you are scoring. Then the last point comes the not qualifying ongoing PSU exams. If suppose during your preparation for GATE or ES, whatever you are preparing for, if any PSU exam comes in between and you are not able to qualify it, you consider that examination as you are preparing for the main examination. This is also one of the mistake which generally aspirants commit. We have to learn. Ultimately, we have to learn as much as possible we can, right? In between, if you are going for any examination, there is a 50-50 probability of solving the entire paper. It's very obvious that in between you are going. You should be very careful with this word, in between of your preparation. You have not at all completed your preparation fully, that you can just casually go and attempt the paper and get selected. So you have to accept your situation condition like you have lost everything. But that is not true. You have to be very careful while you are studying, while you are practicing your papers. Everything, just be aware of a fact that you have to learn as much as possible. Nothing else. Then coming straight to the depression results, that what happens after depression is state is achieved. So that is very simple to understand, that decrease in energy to study and irritation comes. Then attempts to people, generally students attempt to stay away from everyone, their family members, friends and all. Sleeplessness is also there. Tension and unwanted stress is very common. So I hope you might be aware of all these factors. It's better to understand the situation rather than getting engaged into it completely emotionally and physically also. Because once we the basic mistake which we commit is not to think about our state. We are always concerned about the happening all around us. We are not concerned about why it is happening. Whether a genuine reason is there, whether any genuine source is there which is liberating such kind of energy which is depressing us, or any other thing is there. Why? Because I always ask in my videos to everyone to think for that why it is happening, why such thing is happening with us, why we are feeling depressed, etc. Means number of things. For every action, for every event happening in your life, you should be asking yourself why. If you will sit calmly and ask yourself, no depression, nothing can ever dare to hurt you. That is for sure. That you keep in written. Nothing can disturb you from your destined path. Now, friends, if I talk how to defeat the depression, and I have written just two steps are there. First, think patiently. I hope you might have understood why what I was trying to say in the entire video, that think about it. Just simply think, sit and think. If you're feeling alone, your brain should automatically come into action and think why it is happening. This is nothing but thinking patiently. Think about your situation, think about the emotional failure you're going on, think about the events which led you to depression. Just think. Each and every problem will get sorted out one by one. You will feel very relaxed after thinking, because you would have got a genuine solution for that, and that no one can tell you except for yourself only. You can yourself take out your emotions out from depression, and you can reach the state of super relaxed mode. Then the second point I have mentioned is, friends, understand and rectify the reason. It's not only required that you find out the reason. You have to understand the problem and you have to rectify it at any cost. If that problem is coming by getting low marks in test series, then search for the reason why low marks are coming. Whether you are committing any kind of silly mistake, whether you are committing any kind of concept lack mistake, like you have to consult a book, or do whatever thing is possible and you can do it. So never ever let yourself go into such a state. Why? Because it will give you nothing except for decreasing your energy to study. You will feel lonely all the time. You will get irritated with very simple problems. You will not like your books. You will not like your notes. You means n number of problems are there, but just one solution. Think about it. Think about the situation created by you in front of yourself, and after some time you will feel that you have started rectifying each and every problem without any external source. You will not need any kind of medicine, you will not need any kind of motivation. You yourself will become a motivation for yourself, and that is the basic thing with what I always ask you to do, that be yourself, understand yourself, think about your problem and try to rectify it as soon as possible. And about depression, as it will go down, your growth will continuously go on increasing, and there is no limit for your growth. It will tend up to nth height. It depends on you, how you understand yourself, how you understand your problem, and how you rectify it. So all the very best, friends, for your preparation and ongoing test series, and thanks for watching this video, friends.